Hello guys, this is Umang and today in this video we will try to answer the most frequently asked SQL question. That is, you have two tables with some data and you need to find the number of records that will be returned while using different joins in these two tables. So we have two tables you can see over here, table 1 and table 2. In table 1 we have 7 rows and in table 2 we have 6 rows. Okay. Both the table have only one column, let's say it's id column. Okay, and what we need to find is basically when we join these two tables on different kind of joins, how many of number of rows will be returned. Okay, so for this, first of all, I want you guys to understand like how SQL internally does the join. Okay, and after that we will find the number of records in each kind of join, like the inner join, left join, right join, full join, and we will also talk about the cross join. Okay, so let's quickly jump to the inner join. Okay, so what inner join will do is basically inner join will return all the matching records. SQL will interpret inner join is all the records from the left table will try to join up with all the records from the right table, and wherever there is a match it will return a value. Let's start with the very first value in the table 1. Okay, so I'm considering that table 1 is left table and table 2 is my right table. Okay, so I'm taking the example of very first row, that is from the table 1. Okay, so this record will try to match up with every record of the table 2, and wherever it will find a match it will return a value. So you can see from table 2 it will find 1 and 1 common and it will return a value over here. Okay, similarly for this record it will find a value and it will return a record over here. Okay, now moving ahead, we can see there are 2 and 3 and null, right? So for this one, it will not match with the table 2 value, that is 2, 3 and null. So it will return 0 records, similarly the 0 record, and similarly 0 record over here. So the number of records returned from from the first row, from our very first row is 2 records. Okay, now let's move ahead to the next row. Okay, this one will try to match up with this one and will return record. Similarly, this record will try to match up with this and return a record. And for the below given records, it will return no records. Okay, so here we can see it will return 2 records. Okay, now we'll try to go to the next record, that is 2. Okay, so let me just clean this up first of all. Okay, so when this record will try to match up with this will not match and it will return a 0 record. Similarly with this, but with this it will return a record because it is a matching record. And similarly with this, after this is 3 and null, so it will return 0 records. So the number of records returned from this row is basically 2. And we can move ahead with 3 and 3s as well. You can see in this 3, right? 3 will return only a record with this 3 and nothing with else, right? So it will be 0 record over here, 0 record over here, 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 and it will return a 1 record over here, and similarly 0 over here. So it will eventually return 1 record, and similar for this 3 as well, it will also return 1 record. Now we are jumping to the record number, which is 4. Okay, so you can see in table 2 there is no matching record for 4, right? So it will return all 0 records, so the number of rows returned over here is 0. Here comes the tricky part with a null value. So we can see in the table number 2, we can see the null value present over here, and we will think like it will return a record because null and null are matches, right? But in SQL, no two nulls can be matched together because these two are completely different value, and hence it will return a 0 record over here. So for this value as well, it will return a 0 record. So for the inner join, we can see there is 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1. That is total number of records that will be returned through inner join will be 8 records. Okay. So how this 8 records will look like I have created the result as well. You can see from here. Okay. So these are, let's say these are 8 number of records. Okay. These are 8 records over here. Okay. And for let's try to find out for this three, right? There will be 1 record, and for this three as well, there will be 1 record, right? So these three have the 1 records, four and null because they don't have any records, so they are not in the result as well. Okay. Now let's quickly jump to the left join. Okay. So what left join will do is basically it will have all the matching records plus the non-matching records. So what I mean by the matching records plus non-matching records from left table is basically these values got their matching records in the table number 2, right? But the value 4 and null from the left table doesn't get any matching value, right? So the result from the inner join plus these two non-matching values will give us the result for the left join. So it will be 8 plus the fourth value and the null value, basically 2, that will be equal to 10 records in the left join. Okay. Now let us see how left join will look like. So we can see over here there are 10 records in the left join. Okay. In this, from this 10 records, you can see this is similar. This is basically similar to the inner join, and we have added two more rows for the fourth and the null value. Okay. I have mentioned two types of null over here, one with a capital N, one with a small n, because these null represent that there is no matching value, and hence it will basically give us a result as null. And this capital null is coming up from the data, right? So this is how left join will look like. Now coming to the right join basically says all the matching records plus the record number of records from the right table. Okay, so this is very similar to the left join. What we need to do is basically these are the number of these are the records that has been matched. Okay, in which again there are 8 records, right? That we have considered in the inner join plus the record that is not matched from the right table, that is null value. So the result over here will be 8 plus 1, that is basically the null value. So it will be 9 records in the right join. Okay, so let us quickly see how right join will look alike. So you can see over here it is similar to the inner join plus an extra value, that is a non-matching value, null, that is present in the right table. Okay, so obviously this null is representing there is no value matching against it, so it is a small null. Okay, now let us quickly move to the full join. Okay, so full join is basically the combination of inner plus left plus right. So what full join says is basically the number of all the matching records plus number of records from the left table plus the number of records from the right table. Okay, so this is what right full outer join is all about. So 8 rows will be from the inner join, right? We have got 2 rows from the left join and one extra row from the right join. So what it says is basically number of matching records plus number of records from the left join plus number of non-matching records from the left join plus number of non-matching records from the right join. So it will be basically 8 plus 2 plus 1, that is basically 11. Okay, let us quickly see the full outer join, like how it will look like. Okay, so you can clearly see over here there are 11 data points. Okay, from 1 to 3 you can see this is basically our inner join only. This one part we got from the left join. Okay, this is similar to this, sorry, these two parts we get from the left join. Okay, and similarly this last part we got from the right join. So full outer join is basically a combination of inner plus left plus right join. Okay, now let's talk about the cross join. So a cross join is basically a cross product of the number of rows that are present in table 1 to the number of rows that are present in table 2. What I mean by this is basically each and every row from table 1 will match with each and every row of table 2. Let's start with the first row. So this first row will match with all the values that are present in the table 2, and it will be similar for any row that is present in the table 1. So if I calculate if I want to calculate the number of records that are written in the cross join, is basically it will be equal to the number of rows that are present in table 1 multiply by the number of rows that are present in table 2. In this case, if we calculate, there are 7 rows in the first table and there are 6 rows in the second table. So it will give us the result as 42, right? So in the cross join, we got the result as 42 rows that will be created from these two tables. So guys, this is all about the joins, and this question is asked in many SQL rounds, in many analytical rounds. So please go through it, and if you like the video, do subscribe the channel. Thank you guys.